My name is Lord Frieza, and I've gone through more character development than half the characters in this show.
Before we start, do me a quick favor and leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment. Now, let's get moving. What's up guys, That Guy with the Pencil here, and I think Frieza is wonderful. And that may sound strange, considering what Frieza has become over the years, but I actually really like what Frieza has become over the years. If Resurrection F didn't happen, if the Tournament of Power didn't happen, if the Broly movie didn't happen, I feel like I would have a much lesser view of Frieza, considering how much he was flanderized in between the years of his death by the hand of Trunks, all the way towards the end of Z. However, due to his weird growth in Dragon Ball Super, I'm actually going to give him some credit. Now, initial Frieza, he's a wonderful villain. Like, amazing in terms of presence. Mainly because he pulls the Vegeta effect, but to a much higher extreme. Like, the man isn't even walking when we first see him. He's just holed up in this little space pod, his little tail dangling out. And however, when he pulls up, it's such a odd scene, because you're like, he's so small. And like, you already have like Vegeta in the back of your mind. Like, well, we know small doesn't always mean weak, but Frieza's, he's not what you would expect for this terrifying space emperor that's been feared across the entire galaxy. And then he shows you why. He literally just said, hey, so y'all ain't gonna help me. That's I'm gonna kill you all though. And then he just did the way that they just ruthlessly, he allowed his men and ordered them to ruthlessly slaughter the Namekians because they didn't give him what he wanted. That was metal. That was a bit metal. That was honestly more violent than what King Piccolo did. That was more violent than what Vegeta did. Well, that was more violent than what Nappa did. Because here's the thing, it didn't feel personal when any of those villains did it. Like, those were, and while the Namekians were nameless at this point, those were just random people that were getting offed by major villains to raise stakes. Frieza showed up. We saw these characters, we saw them cowering in fear, we saw them just trying to maintain their peaceful way of life, and Frieza just said, you know, kill them all. And then they just did. And that kind of mentality for a main villain is what makes them much more dangerous and much more worrying for our cast of characters, especially the cast of characters that was present on the time that First Form Frieza was around on Namek for the longest before Goku arrived. Gohan and Krillin could have died at any moment to Frieza. They could have died at any moment to really Zarbon and Dodoria. They could have just instantly just been boop, and dead. And the scariest thing about that is that Frieza was willing to do it. Frieza, sure, he was a sadist, but he didn't really care. Life, if it wasn't of value to him, wasn't of value at all. And that's the scariest thing for a villain, because it means the heroes have no safety net. If the villain doesn't care about their life, then they're usually dead. That's one of the main issues I have with a lot of villains in fiction, that typically they'll let the hero go. They won't take prime opportunities to end the hero as a threat to them. But Frieza showed off rip. He really just didn't care. He had no idea who these people were. He saw children there, and he's just like, and children, schmildren, they probably burn quicker, and just order them to die. And that is such a, not necessarily a tone shift, because King Piccolo was killing people, Vegeta was killing people, Nappa was killing people, but I think seeing it up close, seeing like the personal, like, sadistic edge to it, like, Piccolo did it because he needed to rule the world, and the best way to instate world fear is to, slaughter the masses. However, Vegeta also did it. Vegeta and Nappa also did it because it was just their job. You destroy the planet, wipe out some of the population, take it over, show them that they have no chance, and then sell it to Lord Frieza. Frieza did it because he just wanted to. There was no reason. He didn't have to kill anyone. He didn't have to kill everyone. He could have killed one to show that he was about that action, but there was no reason to suddenly go around and be like, you know what, everybody die. Everybody die. Children, dead. Old men, dead. Middle-aged men, dead. Everyone dying. And I'm frying y'all corpses unless y'all give me this Dragon Ball. There was no reason for him to do that, but he did it because he wanted to. And that is the most scary thing. And seeing Frieza's sadistic nature come out to the point where, actually, the heroes they have chances against Frieza. Frieza just keeps sending mooks at them, and of course the mooks keep dying, so when Frieza finally steps up, he just shows off the fact that, oh yeah, I'm gonna break every last bone in your body for stealing my wishes. And the thing is, same course happens that Frieza could have killed them all in an instant. There was no reason for him to wait, other than the fact that he was angry. The entire point that he was there was gone now. So really, he had nothing but raw anger and vitriol, and seeing him take it out on all of our main heroes, whew, it was something else. Vegeta, I'm the legendary super, clapped up. Gohan, I'm gonna avenge my dad, clapped up. Krillin, clapped up. Everyone clapped up. Dende clapped up. He even offed Vegeta. Like, was anyone else? I don't know. I remember when I first saw that, I'm like, I thought Vegeta was gonna be a main character. I didn't think they just off him like that. And in the moment, what makes that hit much more differently, and all the death that Frieza is causing hit differently, is because of how like, not because Piccolo was revived at that point. However, we knew that if certain characters died, they weren't coming back because then the Namekian Dragon Balls were gone. Such as Krillin. So when Krillin died, when Krillin killed Frieza, when Frieza killed Krillin, seeing Goku transform into the Super Saiyan, all because of the high stakes of the situation, that's great. Frieza, throughout his entire original arc, was such a ominous presence that when finally put in its place felt so satisfying because of all the terror and destruction he had wrought upon everyone else. That's what makes it amazing. That's what makes it terrifying. That's what makes it wonderful. And the thing is, I think Frieza drops a lot when he gets mechanized and brought to Earth, because he was meant to job. That's Frieza's entire purpose in the start of the Android saga. Frieza exists for nothing more than to job to Trunks, to make the androids seem real strong when Trunks says he can't beat them. And that's sad. That's a sad way to send off a character. If you really wanted to do that, you could have sent King Cold. You had King Cold. You could have just let him die an embarrassing death to Trunks. But no, you had to revive Frieza. So that started to devalue Frieza's legacy. Then, of course, it's just a flanderization of Frieza. And Fusion Reborn, Gohan one-shot him, which is expected, but it's still sad. Like, come on, now this is Frieza, of all people. Frieza gets laughed at as a threat in terms of actual power when Abo and Kato show up and Yo, Son Goku and friends return. By Goku and Vegeta, they literally don't even care that, a Frieza level threat. Frieza's fodder, bro. And of course, in Fusion Reborn, I know it's not canon, but still, one shot by Gohan. I don't know. I know I said it, but it just bothers me so much. And then you just move on to the fact that Frieza just became a joke. But then, what makes it even better is when he finally comes back in Super. Now, does Frieza train for 4 months and literally surpassing like 5 arcs? Not 5 arcs, 3, because Android Saga, Cell Saga, Majin Buu Saga, Battle of God Saga. He literally leaped 4 arcs. 4 arcs and like 5 tiers of power. He went from star levels to low multiversal. I don't even. That's the crazy thing. Frieza leap power all in 4 months, and like, I know it's sad to say that I'm okay with the excuse, but I'm okay with the excuse that it's just that he never trained before. Because if he was that strong, realize Goku got as strong as he is starting off with a power level of like 2. Vegeta got as strong as he is starting with a power level of 10,000. No, not 10,000. What was Vegeta's birth power? I don't remember his birth power level, but basically it wasn't as high as Frieza's. If Frieza came out in his final form, and his final form was, at its peak, I believe 120 million, then you know his potential was ludicrous. So 4 months of training, I can understand it. Never trained a day in his life. He was that powerful from birth. He had to have ludicrous potential. I'm fine with that. And seeing him lose again is sad, mainly because it didn't happen to Vegeta. But seeing what it does and see what it puts in perspective for Frieza. This second fight with the Saiyans changed Frieza on a fundamental level, because he now understands that, man, one way or another, these monkeys gonna get me. I can't beat them. If you can't beat them, mock them. If you can't beat them, use them. If you can't beat them, oh well. And when Frieza gets revived for the Tournament of Power, the way he like has mellowed out, like, sure, he definitely wants to kill Goku, but he understands, there ain't no time for that. There ain't nobody got time for that. And the way he goes all in for the tournament, just having his fun, doing his duty, doing his good life, living his best life, seeing Frieza being the megaloman, seeing Frieza as the terrifying presence again is what got me about Tournament of Power Frieza. Like, Frieza once again finally had that status and the poise and the power to appear that, yes, this is Frieza. This is the threat that once ruled over the entire galaxy in the wake of the laziness of the God of Destruction. This is what we like. And seeing him team up with Goku in the end, obviously, one of the best moments in the entire series for me, hands down. And then, I know a lot of people don't like what Frieza's become in Super Broly, where he's just getting the Dragon Balls because, you know, he needs to grow 5 centimeters taller. But I think that shows character growth. It shows that Frieza doesn't really care about immortality anymore. Frieza doesn't really care about finally defeating or killing the Saiyans, because they're kind of irrelevant to him now. He has his life back. He already died to... he lost to Goku. Lost and died to Trunks. Then died to Goku. So really, he understands at this point that, man, one way or another, fate doesn't want me to kill them. So I'll just leave him be. However, I will bring a bodyguard, and that what led to Broly, and Broly was good. So I think Frieza's change is wonderful. Seeing him still be himself, like an anti-villain or an anti-hero, who kind of, he helps out when needed. Like, he fought. One way or another, he fought in the Tournament of Power, and one way or another, he's the reason that Broly got defeated. Because he stayed and got body packed by Broly for an entire hour. So, probably more, because it took time to teach the fusion dance. But, there's that. It's crazy to think about. But seeing Frieza become this sort of character that's just there now. Almost like a Piccolo, almost like a Gohan. A character that's there. They're in the background. They aren't always present. But you know they're there. I like that a lot. I think it's interesting. And honestly, I do hope to do an actual, like, analytical breakdown on Frieza. So I probably will in the future, because this is literally just fun character talk, like me talking about why I like a character a lot, why I don't like a character. But I think he's wonderful. Y'all know I like Frieza. And yeah, I think that's really all I have to say. Drop your hot takes on Frieza down below. I know a lot of people don't like him, but maybe am I alone? Am I the only one who doesn't really mind and actually kind of likes this new Frieza? It may just be me. Regardless, thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with a Pencil, writing off.